everyone is buzzing about a report that was released by the lead investigator, Louis Freeh, in the Jerry Sandusky case. And he has released the emails that he's used in the investigations, and they indicate that the top officials at the university did not want to turn Jerry Sandusky in after one of the student assistants had seen him raping a young boy in the showers.
So the emails are incredibly damning. The Freeh report that has come in now by the former FBI director, incredibly damning. And at the end of the day, you look at all this and you think, there doesn't appear to be any questions left. It looks like Paterno and the others covered this up. And in the emails, you see them saying, well, we're just trying to be humane and reasonable. Yeah, maybe to Sandusky, but not very humane to the kids involved, obviously. And the Freeh report explains that the corruption basically was so deep that even the janitors who had seen the rapes were afraid to report it because they had gotten the memo. Everybody knew, we're not reporting this thing. You better shut up, otherwise you're going to get fired.
Now, I actually want to read you guys the email, but before I do so, I just want to mention that Louis Freeh had a press conference, and he kind of summarizes what he found in his report, and it's very damning. Let me read it to you. He says, the evidence shows that Mr. Paterno was made aware of the 1998 investigation of Sandusky, followed it closely, but failed to take any action, even though Sandusky had been a key member of his coaching staff for almost 30 years, and had an office just steps away from Mr. Paterno's. At the very least, Mr. Paterno could have alerted the entire football staff in order to prevent Sandusky from bringing another child into the Lash building, but he didn't do so.
Yeah, and when you get more into the details, it gets worse and worse because they allowed Sandusky to stay there for all those years and to use the reputation of Penn State to lure even more victims in. And he's right there. They see him. It's not like they didn't know what he did. Once you find out definitively that they knew exactly what he did and then let him continue, well, then it becomes beyond inexcusable. And so when they talk about some people are advocating that they take down the Paterno statue at Penn State, you got to do it, man. And you know, a lot of football fans are like, oh, what a shame he was such a great football coach. You're right. It is a shame. He was a great football coach. But that's not all there is to a human being. I can't have a statue of a human being up where everybody goes like, wow, great statue, when we knew he covered up child rape.
Now, Nike has decided to take Joe Paterno's name off their list at the Child Care Center in Oregon. So we're already seeing companies that have praised Joe Paterno in the past kind of, you know, deleting him from lists, getting rid of statues, that kind of thing, or at least proposing that they get rid of statues. So this is having a very huge impact on society. Like, I'm seeing tweets, I'm seeing people on Facebook kind of outraged about this. And at first, I think a lot of people wanted to give Joe Paterno the benefit of the doubt, but you can't deny this evidence. So let's talk about the emails a little bit. In this email that was obtained by Freeh, from back in 2001, by the way, it was written, the athletic director, Curley, wrote, after talking it over with Joe, and of course this is after McQueary had reported what he had seen to the officials. Curley says, after talking it over with Joe, Curley wrote that he was having trouble with going to anyone but Sandusky to handle the matter. Curley laid out the plan to meet with the individual to discuss the situation, get him professional help, and notify him that they would contact his organization.
So look at the frame of mind there. Let's get Sandusky help. How about the victims? How about the 15-year-old kid who was raped in unimaginable ways? And you're saying, well, and you see in the other emails, whether it's Penn State's VP Gary Schultz or Penn State President Graham Spanier, over and over talking about how they humanely handle it, but they're always referring to Sandusky. They're not talking about how you would humanely handle it or get counseling or get help to any of the child victims. For them, that's irrelevant. Sandusky is one of theirs. Now, that leads to two possible reasons why they did this. One, they know Sandusky for 30 years. At least Paterno does, and the others have known him for a long time. And so they feel like, oh, well, you know, we feel bad for him because he used to be a friend of ours or he is a friend of ours. And the other way to look at it is, well, they also cared about their precious, precious football program. And God, it would be a blow to their reputation if you found out that this guy was there. It was probably a combination of those two things. But the one thing that they never considered, and this is what the Freeh report mentions over and over, is the victims.
I know.
And in such a horrible crime against such defenseless victims, where they use the reputation of Penn State to lure in the victims. Now, it's beyond all bounds of reason. Everybody is guilty in terms of, you know, how they handle this matter, whether there'll be criminal charges, a different situation. Joe Paterno obviously is deceased, but, you know, to Ricky Strom's point from yesterday on a death penalty for the Penn State football program, unquestionably, at least 2 or 3 years.
Aren't you mandatory reporter when you work with young people? Like,
yes,
when
that's a crime.
Yeah, it's a crime. I mean, I don't even know why we're questioning whether or not they should face criminal charges. We have evidence here indicating that they wanted to brush this under the rug and do absolutely nothing about it when a young boy was raped in their facilities. That's definitely something that they should be prosecuted for. So I don't give a shit about their football team, okay? And of course I'm biased in that because I don't care about football anyway. But like, everyone's having this ridiculous discussion about whether or not, you know, the football team deserves a death sentence, right? Or basically suspend it for like a few years. No, that's not enough, okay? That's not the root of the problem here. The root of the problem are the officials that did absolutely nothing about it. They should be prosecuted.
Schultz, Spanier, and Curley are the officials involved here at Penn State, athletic director, and as I said, the president and vice president. I think I agree with Anna. It should at the very least right now be in the middle of an investigation on whether they arrest those folks as we speak.